talking about why you should practice using real MBE questions. So first things first, I want to clarify about what I mean when I say real MBE questions. So these are questions that are actually released by the National Conference of Bar Examiners. And the NCBE, that is the entity that is responsible for drafting and administering the multi-state bar examination, or the MBE. So we're talking about questions that come from the source, the real thing. These are not invented by companies out there that are trying to mimic what they think this exam might look like or how this exam might test the law. Instead, these real questions are the real deal. And we recommend that you practice with the best resource out there, being these real released questions. So why do we give you this recommendation? Why should you practice with these real NCBE released questions? And we have 5 reasons why this is our recommendation. The first reason is you will get used to the format of the MBE. Some people take a bar prep course and they practice and they do all of their homework and they think they're doing everything they should be doing to put themselves in the best position possible to pass. And then they show up to bar exam day and their whole game is thrown off because the questions in the test booklet look very different than the questions they had been studying for all of those months leading up to that day. So by practicing with the real question, you will not be thrown off on bar exam day. You will be used to the style in which the law is going to be tested. The second reason you should use these real released questions is because you will be able to pick up on how the NCBE tests certain areas of law and specific legal issues. It's true, there are only certain ways to test certain issues, and they like to test certain issues in certain ways. So by practicing with real questions, you're going to get a feel for what the expectation is. Now, you won't necessarily see that exact same question on bar exam day, but you will see that questions test those issues that you've seen in the past in very similar ways. And that's a great feeling to come across a question on bar exam day and know exactly what the expectation is. The third reason we recommend you use these real released MBE questions is you will know what level of difficulty to expect on the bar exam. So when you use invented questions, sometimes they're just too easy. They're just not as hard as what you can come to expect on bar exam day. Or you might get your hands on some invented questions that are just poorly written and sometimes too difficult. And again, that's not necessarily what you will expect on bar exam day. So it's not terrible to practice with invented questions, but it should not be your main practice. It should not be your main resource for MBE prep. The fourth reason we recommend you practice with the real thing is because you're going to feel way more confident and way more prepared for the bar exam. And we believe that a good mindset is absolutely vital to your success here. So if you practice with the best resource and you practice with these real questions, you can walk into the bar exam knowing that you've done everything you're supposed to do and that you've practiced with the best resource and you know exactly what to expect. And therefore, you're going to be more confident and you're going to perform better. And the fifth and final tip about why you should practice using real MBE questions is because you're simply more likely to pass the bar exam. Many people who have come to us and said, what's the best resource for the MBE? What should I be practicing with? And when we give them this advice and then they take it seriously and then they go take the exam and pass it, they circle back to us and say, thank you for that advice. You were spot on. And it just makes sense. If you're practicing with the real thing, you're going to be more prepared for it. And therefore, you're putting yourself in the best position possible to be successful. So those are the 5 reasons why you should use real MBE questions to prepare for the MBE portion of your bar exam.